Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range. And yes, it's a live range, there's noise, I'm sorry, gonna have to deal with it just like I do. Now, what we have here is one of the very few semi-auto, factory semi-auto, L85A1, SA80 individual weapons ever produced. Apparently 40 of them came into Switzerland in the late 80s, and actually, I'll no doubt about this on another time, we can date this one to late 1989. And I thought we'd take this opportunity with the facilities we have here to do something that's probably never been done with one of these before, which is shoot it at 300 meters with match ammo and have a little bit of play around with it. Now, I trained on, as a cadet, trained on the straight pull version of this, the L85A1, as a UOTC cadet, trained on these. By the time that I was doing that, they had all of the A1 era upgrades, including the magazine button, shroud, and all of that. This is in an earlier configuration on the minor points and what we saw. Now, sighting wise, we have the correct SUSAT on it. It is a civilian range, therefore I will be doing civilian style drills. You might notice it is in a state, it wouldn't be on a military range if you're into that. Civilian range rules, it is what it is. We shall see. Now, I had previously zeroed it at 50 meters with this ammunition. Off camera, I just adjusted the sights and it wasn't far off. I'd zeroed it to be point of aim, point of impact at 50 meters, thinking, well, that's going to be about right. And I moved it one division left and 1.5 divisions up, and it's hitting pretty well, pretty near to the middle, to the point where, I mean, they're coarse, well, there's no clicks, and it's 50 millimeters at 100 meters or 15 centimeters at 300. So it's about almost it's about 6 inches a division. So much below half a division we can't really play around with. Kind of coarse for military use. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot it in the magazine supported position, which was the kind of default firing position. There's a certain bit of Brit mill fuddle that you were not to rest them on the magazine, and in some periods it might have been the case that DS was saying that, but it's in the manual. That was the position for zeroing, so we are going to keep doing that. It's a good mag podding position. One of the good things about this is it's very easily mag poddable. So, right, let us get on, and I'll stop blathering and I'll put some bullets downrange. So, RUAG 69 grain match. Hey, Garen thumb. Officially we're supposed to do that. Right. Okay, this brings back memories. Now, the eye relief and the eye box on these are terrible. There's a rubber eye cup because you're meant to actually have it up against your eyebrow. Now, I wear glasses these days, but what I'm going to do is hold back from it so that I don't get too whacked. Right. Barrel's cold. So a couple of points already halfway through. Yes, I'm looking at the box every time. And for the people who will inevitably be in the comments saying you can't shoot a group if you're looking between, well, I used to shoot target rifle where we put the gun down, rifle down, and we'd have minutes between shots. So yes, you can if you can build your position properly. And you'll also see one of the disadvantages of mag podding is it rocks very much. It comes back like that. So the sight really does come back at you. If you're unsupported, it's not quite so bad. The trigger is also crap. It's not the worst, but it's match trigger it is not. It would be very easy to develop a flinch with this. Whoa, I didn't see that one go. Okay. Yes, I'm not doing it correctly. Civilian range. Doing what's convenient. That's correct. Well, the correct way to have done that was actually safety catch, change lever. But I think I've been playing with too many AKs. So the fore-ring on that target is 20 centimeters wide. So the left edge of it, where about the group center is about, is 10 centimeters off. Probably, yeah, it's about half a click. I don't think it's worth adjusting that, because what we're going to do is see if it keeps that position when we take the sight off and put it back on again, because the sight was taken off for cleaning. Now, before we get to that, yeah, the fore end is okay. It's actually quite long for a bullpup, which is quite nice. They did actually extend it beyond the gas block. It's a bit, yeah, I mean, it brings back memories. I've forgotten quite how much it rocked. I've got a few more rounds in this magazine, and this is an RUAG magazine. Let us expend the rest of these off my elbows and then see if I think differently. And for the Brit mill, I will do it correctly. Safety catch, non-existent change lever, magazine in, don't hit it, pull to check. Load, ready, safety catch, non-existent change lever, cock, forward assist, dust cover, although I probably didn't need to do that. So, up on my elbows. And that didn't work. Ha-ha! Okay, so the magazine floor plate had tilted and the holding open device didn't actuate, but fine, whatever. Now, I'm actually going to say something very positive, which I hadn't expected to, because we tended not to shoot them prone off our elbows, because we'd mag pod wherever possible. We didn't get to shoot them alive that much anyway. Now, these are heavy, and the point of balance is a long way back, and it's quite high, because that sight weighs about 700 grams, so about £1.5. Actually, prone off your elbows, the weight distribution is actually not bad at all. It's actually quite comfortable, and I could actually hold it very stable, and it doesn't come back in my face to anywhere near the same degree. So, why don't we take the sight off? So we unscrew these. And we press that catch there, and we need to have that open so that we can slide it forward and off. And we've got a locator stud. And there's adjustable eye relief, which is actually quite clever. We don't have an adjustable length of pull like you had on an SLR or a Lee Enfield, but we can put the sight there, there, or there. So, I'm just going to go and reset the box, and I'll be right back.
Wise choice.
Okay, so the box is reset, and we're back at the plot. So, we need to put the sight back on, and I had it in the middle position. So we need to make sure it goes on. Alright, there's quite a lot of play there. I mean, this is a pre-Picatinny dealio, but you need to do the same as you do with a Picatinny. Push it forward before you tighten it up, because it's going to slide forward on recoil, irrespective of how tight you do the clamp. And so remember that our mean point of impact is about the left edge of the fore zone. Okay, I'll try and do it the proper way to please all the people. Ooh, that was a bit hard. Right, the $1 million question. We'll go back to mag podding. Check my alignment. Close my eyes, breathe in, breathe out, open my eyes, I'm a little off. Good enough for government work. Let's see where this first shot goes. Oh, that was me. I think I felt that go low. Let's have a mulligan on that one. That was good. Nice. Slightly high if anything, yep. Right, I think that's enough shots to say that return to zero is adequate. It didn't come back to exactly the same place. It's about 5 centimeters to the right and about 5 centimeters down compared to what it was. So it's a third of a division on the site, which for military purposes, that is way more than adequate. Now, that actually was a very pleasant surprise. I was not expecting that to go like that, particularly as these things, if they're dropped, they lose zero. They are a pre-modern, kind of awful design. The rail isn't, the angles on the rail aren't very good. And then the relationship, the tube, the optical tube itself is extremely robust, but the mount isn't, even when tightened right down. It relies on a spring for the elevation. That's the next thing we'll do. Oh, let's press the elevation spring. Let's crank it up to 800 meters and wind it back down. And let's see. There we go, 300. Let's see if that has changed anything. Well, that one went right in the middle. That is a pleasant surprise as well. Right, that's surprising. Yeah. So the spring, there's no adjustment in the tube itself. This is an external adjustment mount, unlike an ACOG where the mount is rigid and the adjustment's inside the tube. 3 rounds to check that the point of zero hasn't changed a lot. We don't usually like 3 rounds, but it's adequate for this purpose. It's not adequate for declaring a group size, of course. But that was a pleasant surprise, a very pleasant surprise indeed. And I've got more ammo in this, so I'm going to go up on my elbows again. Yeah, and see if I can get this out. No, it had tilted again, so I hadn't locked back. Right. So, actually, that off the elbows, as I said before, my initial impression has held up. That is actually very comfortable. The trigger needs a lot of concentration because it is heavy. I think actually that, yeah, I mean, you cannot fault that level of accuracy. It is match ammo though. These have a 1 in 7 twist to be long enough to stabilize the old tracer. I don't have access to NATO ball here because it is illegal in Switzerland because it has a steel core. Yeah, 69 grain has about the same length as NATO ball, proper NATO ball with the SS109 bullet, so it should have about the same degree of stability, although qualitatively it's much better ammunition. You cannot fault the accuracy of that. There's lots to fault on this rifle, but you cannot fault the accuracy provided that it's properly zeroed and properly tightened down. The windage adjustment is laterally opposed screws. You have to loosen one and tighten the other. And certainly in my UOTC time, the rifle I was issued, someone had zeroed it by loosening one side and had forgotten to tighten the other. And I've heard lots of people, particularly in TA units, saying the exact same thing. So people wandering around with wobbly SUSATs. That held zero more than adequately for something of its era with such a shonky mount. Surprisingly impressed, and the balance in prone unsupported off my elbows was surprisingly okay. The recoil impulse off the elbows, it actually shoots quite flat, which you'd hope with how low the barrel is in it. But yeah, whereas it rocks like crazy when it's mag podded, because it rotates like that, it's actually surprisingly good off the elbow. So yeah, I love to rag on these things, but I do give them credit where it is in fact due. But anyway, I hope that was at least really interesting. Thank you so much to supporters on the Weapons and War app, via Player, via Patreon, people who just like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you all so much. It has enabled the acquisition of this into the Bloke on the Range collection, so thank you very, very much. And I hope that was at least vaguely interesting, and see you again sometime. Bye.